After the nightmare of tier 5 of the previous solo raid, where we had to fight both Dark Side and the Rock Black Adam, I think Dark Knight is a good break from that. Now, if you look at the history of Dark Knight itself used to be incredibly difficult as well. But over time, due to experience and due to the release of new characters that basically counter some of these bosses, I would say it's relatively easier now. And one shotting the five bosses, even as free to play. Yes, I know, free to play, but you need to have max artifacts and all of that for some of the bosses. Yes, I agree with you. But nonetheless, still free to play. Yeah. So, anyways, first of all, boss Atrocitus. Funny enough, I used to call this guy atrocious, boss atrocious. And really, if you look at him, he really looks atrocious. So you you could forgive me for having that, making that mistake. Anyways, boss atrocitus, of course, is your typical or your stereotypical random tagging boss. So it's very similar to Darkseid. The only thing is, on like Darkseid, he doesn't hit like a truck like Darkseid. At least from my experience in fighting him, it doesn't hit like a truck. Also, it doesn't take out your entire team with his basics, so it doesn't do splash damage. So Darkseid does doing splash damage, but this guy doesn't. So just the same treatment for Darkseid is the same treatment used for this guy. Use Black Manta and use Beats Boy. Your Black Manta can be 3 stars, no gears, doesn't matter because Black Manta's job is to die and pass his negative effects passive to Beast Boy so that Beast Boy can easily kickstart his specials and spam with his Zatanna's puppet and all of that. So yeah, I think that match is relatively straightforward. I know someone asked me how to take down the boss. Well, Manta plus Beast Boy. That's your answer. Even with a 3-star Manta, you will take down this boss. Anyways, the second fight against boss API. This one is relatively simpler. So that's why I decided to experiment with the Mortal Kombat team. And Mortal Kombat team did not fail me. Spoiler alert. Anyways, the Mortal Kombat team is quite good here. This boss doesn't take stun. I believe this boss is stun resistant, or stun immune rather. So using the likes of Mr. Freeze or using the likes of League of Anarchy won't be the greatest of ideas here. If you're going to use LOA, then in that case you will want to use EPI. But that's why your team selection IQ will come to play here. Yes, you could use your EPI, but if you use EPI, then who are you going to use against? I don't know, Boss Batman who laughs. Remember that guy. So yeah, you don't want to use EPI here. If you have a decent, if you have Mortal Kombat team, you will likely have Raiden maxed out, and if you have two maxed out suppose active fats, then yeah, this is the setup you want to use for this match. Well, if you do not, you can use the other way that I use in Mortal Kombat team, which is use health reduction characters first, then use Mortal Kombat team to clean up the fight. Now, yes, it's true that technically Mortal Kombat team is able to one-shot this boss, and I was able to do that, but the reason I really do not enjoy using Mortal Kombat team, other than the fact that you need to have two almost maxed out artifacts to one shot, is that you need to play perfectly. I hate teams that rely on perfect gameplay. You will notice that there's sometimes I tagged in, I down swipe, and guess what? Nothing happens. You just down swipe and Raiden just starts looking. And the reason for that, yes, I'm not going to really blame the game. I'm going to blame my device for that because my device, I've said it multiple times, both my device and my connections, they are not the greatest. So I have a lot of issues, a lot of situations where I do a swipe action, either jump swipe or down swipe or whatever, especially if it's in a repetitive manner like this, which is why perfect gameplay is needed. If I keep doing down swipes, sometimes down swipe is not going to register and that could cost you a match. In fact, I've lost a match like that. I tried to do down swipe and it failed like up to 5 times during the match. 5 times is enough for you not to one shot. You will do a lot of damage, but you won't one shot. So yeah, if you have a very good device, you have almost maxed out artifacts, then yes, this team is easy peasy. Honestly, very easy. But when your swipe starts failing, your device starts freezing, the Mortal Kombat team will become really annoying. Anyways, yeah, that's just a disclaimer for those that want to use Mortal Kombat team. Next up was Bane. This is a boss that you could use any team against. Honestly, you can use your stun. You can use stun against him. You can freeze against him and all that. which is why I decided to use Mr. Freeze in this match. So for those that are free to play players, this is the way you use Mr. Freeze. When you have, of course, this team is very similar to the Mortal Kombat team in the sense that you need to have two almost maxed out artifacts for you to one shot. But normally you could use this team to do like 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. I think I've done up to 1.6 billion with a single maxed out artifact with this team. So you won't one shot without two high level artifacts, but you will do a lot of damage. So yeah, in my case, luckily for me, this is a pretty old solo raid. Dark Knight is pretty old, so my artifacts are quite leveled up. So I use the Rock Black Adam for head reduction, quick head reduction, because what the idea here is to finish all your head reduction within the first minute. Then by second minute, you should already be using Mr. Freeze. And you know, Mr. Freeze is going to also benefit from the specials that are going to be done by what's his name, Deathstroke. Yeah, so just on that thing to look out for. Don't make sure that Mr. Freeze doesn't take super move from Boss Bane. If not, Mr. Freeze, no matter even if you have two max out artifacts, is going to be wiped out. So just try and do your head reduction and let Deathstroke take it. Either Deathstroke or the Rock Black Adam. I think the Rock Black Adam will likely have done his own head reduction. So yes, you could use any of the other two. Anyone that is done with the head reduction can take the super move, but make sure Mr. Freeze doesn't take the super move. And if Mr. Freeze is to take the super move, just make sure you do Mr. Freeze Special 3. The reason for that is when you do Special 3 with Mr. Freeze, you get a shield that is very similar to um I think it's similar to that of Collector of World Superman. Yeah, you're going to reflect the damage back to the boss so you won't take any damage. So that's one way to protect yourself if you have only Mr. Freeze left in the match for some reason. Yeah, so yeah, Mr. Freeze, very good character to use in this fight. This is another fight that you could use Batwoman the Drowned, you could use EPI. There are many things you could use here, but you want to save them for the tougher bosses. So this boss is more like a fodder among all the 5 bosses on tier 5. This is Heroic 7, by the way. Among all the bosses, this is like the easiest one. Now to the Batwoman the Drowned team, or I call them Batwoman the Drowned team, but it's actually the Metal team. Now, Metal team is perfect for this fight because this boss is immune to dot damage. So that means that you can use your hazard dot here against this boss. And apart from uh, Metal team, another team that you could actually use here technically, the team other team you could use here is what's the name of this team? No, not Mortal Kombat team. Yes, Mortal Kombat team because of the passive of Scorpion. So Scorpion passive allows the Mortal Kombat team to still hit dot against bosses that are immune to dot. So yeah, I believe that's correct. You can please just check to in case I'm just speaking out of my ass. But I think I've read that there. That yes, Scorpion passive allows the Mortal Kombat team to hit dot immune bosses. So if you really want to do dot in this match, you can use Mortal Kombat team. But I'm going to guess that many of you may not have two almost maxed out artifacts or even maxed out artifacts for this solo raid yet. You will get it eventually by playing for a long time like I have. Yeah, I didn't spend money to get it. I've just been playing for so long. I'm so old in the game. So, anyways, yeah, Mortal Kombat team is another team that could do damage here. Although I would say you could use that for clearance. Yeah, you see, match is quickly over. So you could do health reduction, then use Mortal Kombat team for clearance. That would work here in your own use case. Now for the grand finale against this madness guy. So this guy used to be very annoying because the longer you stay in the match while under his hazard, the longer you are going to get madness. And if he gets madness, he becomes unblockable. If you get madness, your character automatically goes over to his side. So he doesn't even need to take out your team. So madness is already a big issue on its own. Second issue is that this guy special 2 hits like a truck and it's unblockable. Anything that makes him to do special 2, you are in trouble. Your character is dead. So you need to avoid two things. Make sure he doesn't do his specials. The least special, you let him do his super move, and make sure it's Zatanna that takes that super move. Or yeah, that's Zatanna or power. No, you still need power girl. So just make sure not EPI. EPI should not take his super move. If not, it's over because this guy does a lot of damage. And also his special 2 is very dangerous. So yeah, and also power girl is going to help you avoid that madness. You see that power girl specials will help you clean madness. the more specials you do. So yeah, this team is great. If you enjoy my videos, guys, smash the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next one.